are so many things that I always love to tell my clients when I start coaching them one-on-one or in one of my 30-day programs. And one of the most powerful lessons I think I could probably share to anybody out there who's struggling to build their confidence and their self-worth is that other people are not an expert in your life. Now, this is kind of silly because here I am coaching a bunch of girls on their lives, teaching them how to build self-confidence, create the lives that they deserve, build that happiness. And so you're probably thinking, well, Lauren, like, you're an expert, so what are you saying? Here's the thing. When you rely on other people to get that acceptance and that fulfillment and that satisfaction that you're doing the right things in life, that you're making the right decisions, that you're pretty or beautiful or popular or good enough or loved enough, when you're relying on other people to define those standards for you, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're putting yourself in a position where somebody else is writing the narrative of your life. I'll give you an example. I was in a very, very unhealthy marriage for a long time, and I didn't walk away. Why? Not because I thought things would get better. I knew things were going to stay miserable. I was stuck. I was frustrated. I knew that there was no end in sight or any change in sight. And I knew that only I could make a decision to change my destiny, right? To change that path I was headed on. But I didn't for so long. And I didn't because I was afraid of disappointing other people. I was afraid of being that person who was a failure, being the one that everybody talked about. Oh, did you hear about Lauren? She got a divorce a year after marrying. Like, can you believe that? I mean, this was where my mind was. It was in this fear of, what are other people gonna say? How am I gonna be judged? What are they gonna think of me? And that left me stuck. For the longest time, before I became a life coach and founded whatisperfection.com, I was at a crossroads in my life time and time again. And when I look back on those experiences, every single crossroad came down to me listening to other people about what I should do in my life versus me listening to myself. So today I want to talk to you guys about that because it's such an important part of creating happiness and the life that you truly deserve. How to take charge and like grab the steering wheel, so to speak, of your life so you can reroute your path and go down the roads that you want to without that fear, without that insecurity, without that feeling of being lost or making the wrong decisions. So for those of you who do not know me and just started following my Facebook page, my name is Lauren Aliz. I'm the founder of whatisperfection.com, and I offer courses and teach women how to pick up the pieces and rebuild their lives when they feel stuck in situations like unhealthy relationships or setting goals and constantly failing them, or that vibe of just like never being good enough or never finding that confidence that they're looking for. For the longest time, that was me. And one of the big components that I needed to learn in the process of building my self-confidence and overcoming that past sad girl that I used to be was letting go of what other people think. Now, this is probably a question I get from so many people. It's, how do I stop worrying about what people are saying about me? How do I not feel bad when somebody criticizes me? Or how do I stop feeling judged or talked about? And every time somebody asks me that question, I have to really think back to the person that I once was, because that feeling, and that's a painful feeling, guys, when somebody's talking about you, when somebody's like spreading rumors or making you feel bad about who you are or hurting your feelings. It really is. I mean, there's no minimizing it. It sucks. I mean, it's just like this shitty feeling, but to be honest, it's something I haven't experienced in years, because after I found self-love, I put up this, like kind of little bubble emotionally where those things don't really matter to me. I mean, have I been criticized and judged? Probably more in the last 2 years than like any time of my life, I'm sure, because I'm putting myself out there. I'm being more vulnerable. I'm sharing stories of the past, and I'm like getting real and raw. So yeah, probably I've probably been criticized a shit ton, but do I know about it? No. Do I listen to it? No. Do I feed into it? Absolutely not, because I know who I am and what I want in life, and I have a very clear understanding of my own identity to the point where those things don't matter. But when you're starting your self-love journey and you're trying to build your confidence and you're struggling to feel good about yourself, it's really hard to put that wall up, right? Like, it's hard to be like, yeah, screw you, I don't care what you think. Like, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna do me. that confidence is not there yet. So anytime somebody throws that curveball of negativity at you, it's really easy to feel it because you're very sensitive, you're very exposed, you're in a place where you're hurting and you're vulnerable and you don't feel good about who you are. So you're longing for that exterior voice. You're longing for somebody to sort of pick you up and say, it's okay, you're amazing, you're beautiful, I love you, or it's okay, you're successful, you're accomplished, I believe in you. You know, you're longing for those vibes from other people. So when you're not feeling good about yourself, you're opening that door and you're saying, hey, come love me, come make me feel good, come give me those emotions and vibes that I'm longing for that I can't give myself right now because I don't feel good about myself. You're also opening the door to negativity. Because whether or not you're intentionally trying to feel bad about yourself, you're not. I mean, clearly, you're looking for love, you're looking for affection, you're looking for that approval from other people. But when you open that door to begin with, you're bringing in all of this stuff. You're bringing in all of this possibility for being judged, being criticized, being looked at differently. And all of that is there no matter who you are. I mean, I'm here right now doing a live video and there's probably, 50, 40 people who are gonna look at this later and go, oh my God, can you believe her? Like, she's crazy jumping on live video all the time talking about this stuff. Who does she think she is? Well, here's the thing, that's all fine, that's great, I don't care because I know clearly who I am and I know who I'm serving and I know who I'm talking to when I jump on live video and I'm confident and I believe in myself and I believe in my purpose and my mission. It takes a while to get there, guys. This is not, I've never been this person in my life. I did not wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna have confidence today. Like, I needed to work on it. I went in on an incredible, intensive self-love journey for 4 years, really investigating who I was, developing my emotional intelligence, figuring out what made me happy and what made me fulfilled. And along the way, I hit these crossroads, right? Like, some of you out there might have, might relate to these really, for sure right now. Let's talk about a couple of them. You're going through a divorce, you're in an unhappy, unhealthy relationship, but you feel worthless. You feel like you can't let go. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like maybe you will never find love or somebody to treat you right. Is that you worrying about what other people think? Yes. Is that also you feeling insecure and without self-worth? Absolutely. Which one do you have to fix first? Yourself. If you're uncomfortable with your body, if you're struggling to feel good about yourself and your identity and how you look, if you don't feel like you're the type of person who can say, yeah, I'm beautiful, yeah, I'm a gorgeous human being, if you can't do that, it's because you're longing to get acceptance from other people. It's because you're looking for that approval from the outside world. You need to feel those things within yourself first. You need to develop your identity, figure out who you are authentically, and start your self-love journey. I cannot tell you how pivotal my journey was for me. When I realized that I had spent years trying to fill an emotional gap with all of these things, right? Like success financially, loving relationships, friends who thought I was amazing, popularity, family acceptance. I was looking for all those things because I thought if I had them, then I could feel good about myself. If I had the success, if I had the financial success or the loving relationship with the boy who was just like obsessed with me, then maybe I would be feeling good about myself too, right? It doesn't work like that. And so I spent all these years sort of figuring out what are these exterior things that I've tried to accomplish before that have failed me emotionally. Not that I haven't had those things. I mean, yes, I was financially successful. Yes, I had a very good relationship at one point, and I do to this day, but that's a different story. Yes, I did have a body that I was worth feeling good about and I should have felt good about, but I didn't have that sense of fulfillment, that feel-good vibe, that, oh my gosh, I'm like amazing and I'm happy and life is great, la la la. Because I was looking to other people to give me that sense of acceptance and approval that I had been that person that I was trying to be. So how do we break away from that, guys? How do we put ourselves in a place where what we are hearing from other people doesn't matter, what other people might think about us doesn't matter, because we all want to get there, right? Your first step in that process is identifying who you truly are. Who are you? What makes you happy? What are you fighting for in your life? What type of person are you? If you're not an expert in who you are, if you can't answer those questions, no wonder you feel insecure. No wonder you feel lost. That was me years ago. I had no idea how to answer that question of what makes you a great person. And because I didn't have the idea or capability of answering it, I was relying on other people. And so then I was opening the door to all that negative emotion. So we're gonna break away from that. Ask your guys, I want you to ask yourselves these questions. What makes you of value? What makes you a wonderful person? What makes you somebody that you're proud of? And if you can't answer those questions with who you are now, follow that question up with a second one. What do you have to do to get there? That person you want to be, who is she? What does she look like? How does she laugh? What does she wear? How does she walk? What emotions does she possess? What characteristics and personality does she have? And what do you have to do to get to that place? It's all within us, because that person that you dream up in your head, she's inside you already. Like, she's there. She's just holding back because she hasn't been loved and she hasn't been recognized, and she's hiding and she's afraid of being judged and she's afraid of being recognized. That person is already you. If you can put down on a piece of paper the person you want to be, it's you, right? We don't dream things up out of thin air. It is who you are already. You just need to let that go by putting yourself through the process of finding her. So that's really what my courses are about. That's what is Perfection is about, the 30-day programs. I want you guys to know those 2 questions are so super valuable. They're like the key to discovering and figuring out who you are. Because when you're in a position where you're worried about what somebody else thinks of you, right? Or you're looking at somebody else and you feel jealous of what they have, it is not the outside perspective that's wrong. It's not the other person being a bitch. It's not the other person being successful and you're just not. It's you. It's you being too critical of who you are. It's you not knowing really who you are and what makes you of value. So you feel like you're down here, right? Like your self-worth is all the way down here. And then you see these other people who have like everything up here and they got their shit together and they have the fancy car and they have the beautiful pictures of vacations on Instagram and like the popularity and the fame, and you just look at them and you're like, I want that. You don't want that. You want the emotion with it. You want the success. You want the ability to feel successful. You want the love. You want the ability to say, I'm very loved in my life. You want the ability to say, I'm very happy in my life. So you see these physical things, you see what other people have attained to get that emotion, and then you think you have to get there too. But it's asked backwards if you don't stop and ask yourself who you are and what makes you happy. You need to develop your self-worth first.